Hello and welcome back to the Milltown Way podcast, the home of all things Shamrock Rovers. It's been a huge week for the Hoops. A European night in Athens that ended 1-1 against AEK. Now all eyes turn to the Aviva Stadium for the FAI Cup Final this Sunday. I'm Ryan Brennan. I'm joined as always by Adam Casey. Coming up, we'll break down that draw in Greece, what it means for the Conference League campaign, and of course, build up to the big one, the Cup Final. We also got a really special contribution from club legend Mick Byrne, who was part of that last Rovers team to do the double back in 1987. But before we get on to that, we'll start in Athens. Adam, a 1-1 draw. Good result, or in the end, what it is a good result?
It is a good result against a strong team, but doesn't set them up well for the rest of it. The rest of these games now to go, like with the very few games left and against obviously a very tough opponent in Shakhtar Donetsk, the Ukrainian outfit. Is a draw enough? I know Athens are a good side and we should be happy with the draw, or Rovers should be happy with the draw, but is it not enough? Would a win really have needed to happen?
I suppose when we look at this at the end of the campaign and seeing where we'll end up, whether it be in a knockout playoff place or whether it be just elimination from the league phase, will tell all. But right now, presently speaking, I suppose it is a good.
It
AEK
is.
Athens,
They're a strong side and it's a good result. They're now sitting, well, with the games currently ongoing, we're not going to know exactly where they're sitting, but they're probably going to be in and around the mid-table in the playoff positions rather than the direct qualification.
Yeah, I think dropping 2 points against Rovers.
They'll see it we'll see it as a good result. They'll see it as a bad one, probably. Especially with if you were to look at the stats, if you were to look at it on paper, it seems like Rovers were lucky to come out with the draw.
Well, what did we say? 30 shots? Was it
30 shots
they had?
To
R1?
The one, yeah.
That's all that matters. How many of them went in the net? One each.
You don't win a game based on shots.
Well, the other thing was obviously looking at the game and 2 penalties decisions, 2 VAR checks, and the referee going to the monitor twice to decide if it was a penalty or not. So
I quite like the referee going to the monitors though. There's something I just remember when VAR was first brought in, and that was 2018 World Cup. They always went to the monitor.
I don't really like that. Well, not that I don't like it, but I just think, what's the point of having the referees in the background if he's just going to go to the monitor?
But I prefer it because I'm like, it's still the referee reffing the game. Then it's not someone else making the decision. Yeah, it's still the referee.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just against VAR altogether. So
you're never going to get rid of it. It's never.
Unfortunately, not.
It was always going to happen. It's a part of the game going forward. It was like goal line technology coming in,
but that's instant, yes. And it tells the ref.
Same with the offside one now, the semi-automated offside.
That's not as quick as it was when they used that.
Yeah, but it's new. It will be. But to be fair, when you think about goal line technology, that was instant straight away. Just like
that I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't know. It's complicated, but
sure. Look, we're not getting onto that.
No.
League Ireland doesn't have that.
No,
thank God.
It's good. Imagine celebrating a goal in Stala Stadium, and they're like, "You need to check that."
Yeah, I know. And we've seen that for the few qualifier games as well. Where that happens, and a lot of the time, I think I could be wrong here, but a lot of the time it does be a positive result.
Yeah.
I
feel like the times we've had it happen in European fixtures, it's gone our way each time.
Yeah, or for most
beneficial for Rovers. It's been a beneficial one. Wasn't there a penalty or something?
But yeah, with Athens, I suppose the whole build up around it and everything, as we spoke on the last episode, was the interest in starting lineup to see if that was going to be something. It did. There was rotation there, clear to see, wasn't it? John McGovern getting a start, Adam Matthews, Corey O'Sullivan, Conor Malley, Darren Nugent, all part of a more rotated side. I think they definitely did very well to absorb the pressure, because that's what evidently we all knew that was going to happen. We go into a tough place like Athens in Greece, against a top European opposition, as we spoke on before, well versed in European football. They're not unfamiliar with it, so to go there and hold the lead, for the large part of 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Was really impressed from the lads, and strong back line, Lopez, Cleary and Grace. The two penalties, I don't know. I'm not sure on if there's arguments to be made if either of them were a penalty or
Yeah.
not.
They both could have been seemed to be maybe a bit harsh. I don't know.
Like,
But I feel like the standard for giving a penalty now is a lot less in most competitions.
compared to League of Ireland, where
League of
someone has to
Ireland,
be killed.
You have to like shoot them in the skull to get it. But like, or it has to be like you literally have to catch the ball. But in the Premier League and stuff,
anywhere there's VAR, it's gonna
yeah.
be it's a lot.
Like in the Liverpool game the other night, they were checking that one for the penalty for ages for the handball.
Yeah.
Tchouaméni was it, I think.
Yeah,
And his
another
hand was
one.
blatantly by his side. Like that's.
Yeah, like everything.
I feel
everything
like
looks more slowed down and stuff like that. But I think with the Rovers penalty, anyways, like when I first saw, it, I didn't celebrate in any way because I just thought VAR were going to have a look at this, and I'm not sure from the initial look if it was going to be, if the decision was going to stay as a penalty. In the end, I would probably, without being biased, probably lean towards that it slightly was a penalty, but I don't think it was I don't think it was by any means a blatant outright penalty that,
yeah.
a stone wall penalty. I don't think it was that.
For me, I don't think it was a penalty. I don't know.
You can argue that McGovern instigates the contact.
He does, and that would be my argument.
The front leg,
which I don't like when players go looking for that penalty.
I like when John McGovern did it.
Yeah, but I don't like. I just don't know. I don't like the idea of going and trying to get the foul or trying to get a penalty.
Apart from when
John
McGovern.
Yeah, but it's part of the game realistically. And then obviously Graham Burke stepped up and it was a well taken penalty.
He was getting laser in the eyes as well.
Yeah.
That was going on the whole game. The referee stopped the play at once. McGinty was taking a goal kick, and I don't know what he was saying to the other officials, but you could see that he kept pointing to the eyes, but nothing happened. No. it continued for the remainder. But then the Athens players were getting it as well. So in instantly, I was just thinking, that's an Athens fan.
Yeah.
Because the first instance I saw of it was Burke taking the penalty.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's just trying to put him off, but it didn't come across like that when I saw Athens.
Even at the full-time whistle, you could see some of it on the ref and stuff.
I don't understand that at all.
Especially doing it to, I don't know, you're a home fan. You think it's your own players, like.
Unless a Rovers fan was in the away and trying to put Burkey off.
Yeah, some men just want to watch the world burn.
But no, overall positive result, I think.
Yeah.
Going into it, if someone asked the Rovers draw, would you take it? You'd say wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Rovers did well, I think, as I said, to hold the lead, as I was saying.
Absorb all the pressure from them.
Yeah, and it was to be expected, and it's by no means was a lack of effort from Athens, because Rovers had to absorb a lot. As I said, 30 shots on the Rovers goal, not all obviously on target and stuff, not making McGinty work. But then we discussed the Rovers penalty, but
it did
the
make
other way,
I don't sometimes as well.
The other way, I wasn't overly convinced that Athens deserved the penalty either. Like Danny Grant's kind of fallen back. I know his arm is up, but he's fallen backwards. But then on the other side of it as well, it looks like that could be a foul on Grant.
He's being pulled down. Yeah.
So
I don't know. It's just never consistent, is it?
No.
It's frustrating when it happens like that.
And obviously, then you're just wanting them to rule out that penalty, aren't you? So yeah, essentially like two penalties that on another day might not have been given as a penalty. But yeah, look, it was a rotated Rover squad that got a draw in Athens. It'd make you think if Rovers didn't have the cup final on Sunday and put out a full strength team,
could they have stuck?
Could that result been better? Definitely that opportunity that could have been.
It is, yeah. There is a chance that if there wasn't the cup final, but then would you trade that for a cup final? I don't think so.
No, we'll be touching on the cup final soon, but yeah, that's one I'm looking forward to getting into.
Yeah.
But yeah, I take the point, and there's no point sitting here discussing hypothetical situations.
No.
The fact of the matter is, Rovers are in the cup final on Sunday, and they drew tonight with Athens in Greece.
It's good.
Good result, positive, for sure. Looking ahead at what that means for the remainder of Rovers, your Conference League campaign. 3 games remain: Shakhtar Donetsk, Breidablik, and Hammer on Spartans. Breivik being the only remaining away game, which might stand to Rovers.
Yeah, it's good
Going
having
into that
2
other
games
half
in
now.
Tala.
Yeah. The only, I suppose, the other side of the coin is one of the home games is Shakhtar Donetsk.
That's true, which is their strong side, and we'll obviously touch on it closer to the time a bit more, but yeah, it's going to be a tough one. We've mentioned it before that it will be tough. Just,
I suppose, like,
if they had an easier opponent for that game, I think you'd be backing them to go through a bit more. But
yeah,
if
yeah,
they were
but that's
playing,
just I suppose you face an opposition from every pot now, so that's
yeah, that's just how it works.
home or away. Athens being the toughest or else no, it's Sparta Prague was probably the toughest away fixture. I would
Breidablik
imagine
as
that.
well. I don't think Breidablik should be as bad, but Rovers have lost both times to them before. In
Yeah,
July 2023, back.
well, Shakhtar Donetsk beat Breivik tonight as well 2-0, which if you're going to go and think Rovers should be beating Breivik, like that's a relatively tight game.
Yeah.
All in all, 2-0 it doesn't no, I'm saying that Donetsk did have 74% of the possession.
Yeah.
And Breivik didn't manage a shot on target. So there is that side of the coin, I suppose.
Close.
And the Rovers' other opposition, Hammer on Spartans, they lost 3-0 to Samson Sport. So there is.
Oh yeah, I know that.
There is light at the end of the tunnel. The remaining 2 games, I think, for Rovers. If it's a case we spoke on earlier, though, the benchmark is 7 points.
Yeah.
So
that was last year, though. It might be different this year.
Yeah, you just never
know.
know.
Could be slightly less, could be slightly more. You never know.
Yeah. But I suppose looking at it, as Rovers are on course to get 7 points in that case.
Yeah.
If you're going to take that, Rovers are going to be expected to be defeated by Shakhtar Donetsk and Tala. Then it leaves 2 games, Breivik, a trip to Breivik, and Hammer on Spartans, where both of them will have to be must wins to have any chance.
Yeah.
The only threat is Rovers do have -5 goal difference.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that might lead to the down, and it will go further down if Rovers were to
lose
to the
Nets.
But then can Rovers make up the ground in the last 2 games? Like I don't see.
I don't know if we have enough.
I don't see landslide victories in either games. Maybe Hammer on Spartans. You might need minimum 3 goals there.
Yeah.
Depending on how it falls.
Will that even be enough still?
Yeah. But it'll be. As I said, it was a good result tonight, and they need to take that positivity as a rotated squad.
Definitely, and bring that positivity and something to get a bit of momentum into Sunday.
Yeah, there was a lot of changes, I suppose, as well at half time in that game. From the Rover side of things, Burke didn't make the full game. It was nice to see Keane Barrett coming on as well, a European fixture, like a European proper. He came on. He didn't look out of place. He did get fouled by the goal scorer Jovic.
Jovic.
Yeah. When he scored the penalty, Barrett was kind of knew what he's doing, standing over the ball, knowing that Athens were going to be grabbing the ball to try get a second. But it should have been a yellow card. He fully just pushed them into the goal now. But look, that's for another.
That's the game.
Is
Athens
it
30
pushing a young fella into a goal?
It's smart the age. Would it be worse if he pushed an elf and he couldn't get back up?
That he shouldn't be on the pitch.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, look, it's a good result, and with a rotated team, it's definitely a lot of positives to take. At the interval, Watts and Burke getting whipped off along with Matthews getting replaced for Grant, McInerney, and Barra. So it's definitely good to see that Rovers were still able to hold on in that. Obviously, didn't hold on to the victory, but even just hold on to get something out of that game.
To get a point out of the game, yeah.
With such a rotated team, and even the bench was very light. There was no Rory Gaffney in the team, no Josh Honahan, and a few others that were omitted and probably still carrying knocks. I think I'd anticipate that Josh wasn't fit enough for Athens.
Probably not.
And I'd say some probably didn't make the trip over either. Preserving legs, obviously, for Sunday's big game. Potentially historic game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely the lads who did play, who may feature or not on Sunday, that should be giving them a lot of confidence going in.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the Rover supporters that were in the away end tonight were disappointed either.
No, I know.
The noise came through on more occasions than one from the travelling support that, singing. I think Graham Burke's infamous chant got rung out when he scored. Something about his dad getting shot in the leg.
I heard a rumour about that.
And then hoops away, I like it.
I like that.
That was rung out as well. I could hear on coming through, and it's good.
That could have been you.
It could have been me if they didn't make supporters get to the ground 15 hours early. But no, like it's good. It's good from the Rover supporters as well to make that noise, because it's even more difficult to be heard on the telly when you go to a ground like Athens, where
They're so far from the pitch.
But as well as that, they also, like, Athens are one of them supporter groups that, or bases that they sing for 90 minutes. We've discussed this before, where I don't really, like, it's not the culture in Ireland, it's not the culture in England either, for that matter.
More continental Europe, Germany, Spain, and stuff a bit like
Italy and the likes.
Yeah.
Where they just sing for 90 minutes, no matter what's happening in front of them. I don't really. I'm not really fond of that, I think.
No, I'm not either. But I
still
would like to be in a crowd. Where
you'd like to buy the T-shirt for a day, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want it to be. I wouldn't want, like.
You'd want to go on holidays. You don't want to live there.
Yeah, exactly. When in Rome, or when in Athens.
Yeah. I'd say all the fans will be having a good time out there tonight.
Well, that's it. Once they all make it back for Sunday, that's the main thing, isn't it? The charter flight goes back tonight.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I suppose they want the players back early.
Yeah, like I think it touches it down in Dublin. I think it touches in Dublin around 3 a.m. tonight.
That's rough.
That is rough, especially for the players. But I suppose I can only anticipate that what's going to happen is they'll land, I say, 3 a.m. They'll start later a training session tomorrow, but they need tomorrow and Saturday for the final. So, I mean, you think, like, isn't it bizarre to think that they're only going to have 2 days between the games to train for the final?
Yeah, would you
Cork have since last Saturday?
Yeah, do they have the benefit? Do Cork have that in their favour then?
Punishment of success.
Suffering from success. We've said it a few times.
We do, yeah, but that's the position Stephen Bradley's put this side in, and that's what comes with the territory and competing on all fronts.
Yeah,
it's just what happens. Yeah, but as I said, Cork have had since last Saturday, so they'll have essentially 8 days between games. It's tough, that.
It is. It's tough to keep up with that as well.
It's even tougher that Rovers happen to be away
in Athens as well. It's quite a far trek for Europe.
Yeah, it's like about 2.5. Is it 2.5 hour flight?
More than that, I'd say.
I think it is.
Is that
something like that, in and around that region anyway?
I thought it was like 2.5 hours to Spain.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I would have known if I was going.
It's not an aviation podcast.
Get your man on that does the Twitter. You ever see?
Yeah.
Sean's Aviation.
I think that's it.
He'll be on next week.
Yeah, special guest.
But I suppose we'll move it on
to the cup.
So the cup finally come around.
The final.
It seems like so. See, in one way, it seems like yesterday since beating Kerry in the semi-final.
Yeah, probably a good month ago now, was it?
Yeah. So it's around that, because then the tickets went on sale.
It doesn't feel like yesterday. It feels like about 10 years ago at this point for me.
Time flies when you're having fun, Adam, so you're clearly not having a lot of fun.
Yeah, true.
Even though you're watching Shamrock Rovers lift the league last week. But yeah, we'll get on to it then and everything that comes with it. Earlier in the week, I spoke to Mick Byrne, who was part of that infamous squad that won the double the last time, and that was in 1987. He's also the man who happened to score the last goal at Milltown. I spoke to him earlier in the week. He did say that it was kind of more of he didn't necessarily look at it as a good thing to score the last goal at Milltown, because Rovers evidently moved away from the ground, and
having so much history there, and
as
a player having so much history there, then for that to change must be hard.
He also touched on around the time that the player at the time in Milltown, when the protest took place, that himself and all the other players, they all thought the matter was going to be resolved. They saw all these protests taking place and just thought they had to focus on obviously the games and evidently winning the double. But they always try to block out that that outside noise, focus on what they're doing and winning the league and winning the cup. And they were all so disappointed, and he spoke on in depth about the following season where Rovers kind of mainly played in Talca Park, and Rover supporters protesting outside the ground, didn't go in, and how sad that was. And then evidently Rovers didn't win the league the following year either.
Yeah, it must be tough as a player.
It's different. It's completely different dynamic.
Yeah, half of your fans, some of your fans not showing up, and so it must be. Obviously, it's not. It's not you're not the reason that they're not showing up, but it must be disheartening to be playing and not having the backing of the fans that you'd be so used to having every week.
Yeah, and that's it. And like a club like Shamrock Rovers is always so closely knit, always was and still is to this day. So he spoke to me and he mentioned as well that it was strange seeing the supporters outside the ground protesting for a matter that meant so much to them, and
Yeah,
the players are going into the ground to play a game of football, but essentially a little crowd, a little crowd there. But he said the supporters always maintained a good positive relationship with the players, where they'd always still speak to them as they headed in to the ground, and still ask for pictures and autographs and stuff.
Yeah,
which is still nice to see. And
yeah, it must be.
but yeah, this is this will be going out on Friday, Friday morning. So there will be an article, there will be a feature on the milltownway.wordpress.com, more in depth about what Mick Byrne said. So make sure you do listen. Make sure you do read that and listen to this. But here's what Mick Byrne had to say.
We're 100% behind them. Spoke to a couple of lads on after the match there on Saturday, and myself and Pat and Harry Kenny, John Cody, we normally would go to the games anyway. But yeah, everybody that we talked to, any of the older fellas, definitely behind them. We always wanted them to do the 4 in a row anyway. They were unlucky not to do 5 in a row last year, but yeah, we're all for them to do it. Records are there to be broken, so we need to. We were a little bit disappointed that it didn't happen last year for them, but look, hopefully now we're going into Cup Final on Sunday, and we can do a double. That'll be another great achievement for that group of players and the staff, and with Stephen being, how good he is as a coach, and Glenn and Stephen McPhail. They have a great group of bodies between them, so they work very hard at it. So yeah, we're very happy to see that happen.
So yeah, it's definitely nice to hear Mick Byrne's words there.
It's nice to hear that the lads have such support behind this team, and it's just a class act for them to talk about going to most of the games and stuff like that. It's a nice thing to hear, and I'm sure as well as a player it must be nice to hear that you have the backings and you have the support of club legends.
Well, that's exactly it, and it's as well as that. It is that kind of. It's always a thing as a supporter. You wonder about the mindset of players. When you see, if you're part of a history-making team, the way Mick Byrne was, and Pat Byrne and John Cody and the likes, that would they want to? They want their record to remain intact for as long as it can. Whereas, as you heard just there, they're all fully behind it. They wanted Rovers to win 5 in a row last year, to be the first team to ever do that. And now they want to see Rovers be the first team to replicate winning the double for the club since 1987. And he speaks very highly of Stephen Bradley, Glenn Crone and Stephen McPhail. What a great job they're doing. And he's regularly in contact with them. And even he touched on in the interview that he spoke with Pico Lopez last week. And they talked also about players coming through the ranks and how well they're doing. The likes of Keane Barrett, Corey O'Sullivan,
all the young lads,
and particularly Corey O'Sullivan, who he hasn't looked out of place once coming in through this Ireland squad.
Even against Athens, he didn't look out of place.
Yeah, through this Rover squad is what I mean. But yeah, exactly that. He didn't look out of place, and he's just shown that he's ready. He's more than ready to slot in there if any of that back line is the part, and I think you often see him play wing back, and I don't want to be putting it out there, but if the likely Josh Honahan departs in January,
Don't even put that up in the air.
It's nice to see that Corey's there that can definitely do a job at wing back now. The argument is Corey tends to play right wing back. Josh normally goes on the left, but I'm sure
something can be done.
Phone calls can be made.
Yeah, God, don't even put the thought in my head of Josh leaving.
Yeah. But that 1987 squad, they also went to Tala during the week to speak with the players and the staff about, more or less to motivate them to replicate history and again to be the first team to win the double since 1987.
That's quite cool that they were there and stuff, and especially in talking about speaking to Pico about all the upcoming players. That must, even as at this point, you could probably realistically class Pico as a club legend as well. So imagine being a younger player and hearing that a club legend in the making, and then a former, and then a club, like a cemented club legend, speaking about you and your kind of peers in such high regard. It must be very motivating and quite just good to hear, really.
Well, that's exactly it. And this Rovers team, it's definitely it's very nice to see that they're acknowledging legends of the past.
Yeah.
It's football is just, even in isolation, football is a different game to what it was in '87. So to see that these players offer such a high respect to these legends of the club and don't disregard them in any way and take on board exactly what they have to say, because they're the ones who've been there and done that. And
bought the t-shirt.
Exactly, bought a few of them. Bought three, in fact, of back doubles.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like even in the chat I had with Mick, he mentioned about the first cup final and how nervous he was and trying to just get everything right. And then he said the two after that were he was just excited to get on the pitch.
Yeah.
Which is also nice to hear, and definitely something to take on board for these players, because for a lot of them, they were there or a good few of them anyways, they were there in 2019 for that final, and obviously that ended positively. But for a lot of others, they haven't been in this predicament yet.
No.
So nerves can get to the better of you on these occasions at times, and it's all about getting it right on the day and doing the simple things right. And yeah, I think he gave me the impression that he was definitely like confident that Rovers will do this.
Yeah.
From what he's seen, and as I said, yeah, he tends to be in Tala every week as well.
It's good that he's in Tala every week supporting the team, because as you're right, football, it's a lot different now than it was in the 80s. The game changes quickly as well. Football's not even the same as it was 10 years ago. So respect to the club and respect to the players for taking on board the advice and showing the respect to the club legends of the past, because you could very easily, as a young lad, a 16, 17-year-old, even in your early 20s, just disregard the players from the past and be like, why do I need to listen to them? I've been doing my own thing. They don't know what it was like. It's completely different. But no, fair play to the club for treating those legends of the past with utmost respect, and then the players for taking on their advice and really listening to them.
It's even nice to hear how appreciative he was of hearing chants from the South Stand when they sing going down the Milltown Road.
Yeah.
See McLaughlin's Aces.
Yeah, it must be nice because they're chanting about their history and them.
Was that
as the game moves on fast, people get forgotten quickly.
Yeah, and particularly as well, like this Rovers fan base, it doesn't take long to see it in the ground. So it's a large part of the atmospheric sector, the South Stand, is a younger generation.
Yeah,
I mean, even for us, we weren't alive for the days of Milltown, but it's nice to hear it on a weekly basis that it's sung about and they're not forgotten in any capacity. And yeah, like to hear the South Stand for Mick and others, for Pat Byrne and the likes, for them to hear that McLaughlin's Aces, they are McLaughlin's Aces.
Yeah.
So to hear that's who it's been sung about. Yeah, it's nice to hear. It's a nice full circle moment. I think
it must feel good as one of them lads as well to be chanted about all these years later. You must feel like you'll never be forgotten, like you'll be immortal, or like it just feels like you at that point, if they're still chanting about you 30 years, they could be still chanting about you in 60 years. when you're gone, who knows? But when you're still being chanted about and stuff like that, you really are just gonna live forever.
Yeah, that's exactly it, and that's what they'll be hoping.
And football is a game where legends tend to live forever.
Yeah, well, I know, and we both know now that they hope that their record of being the last team to win the double doesn't live forever because they want that
No,
finished
that's
on
true, yeah.
Sunday. And it will be done on Sunday should Shamrock Rovers beat Cork City. But yeah, even like I kind of brought around the topic when speaking when he was saying about how losing Milltown was tough for the players, but that he can only imagine how it would be as a supporter at the time. Because as I said, he was talking about how players had to kind of keep it out of the dressing room. Of course, it would creep in, and they always thought it was going to be resolved. But then he spoke to me about being a Tala every week, and then he kind of, if Rovers were to lose Tala,
yeah, it'd be a similar.
so it would be sore for him then.
It'd probably be a similar feeling.
That's where it comes around. Going from being the one on the pitch to the one being in the stand. So,
and I bet they never thought that when they first moved to Tala or that they would have that feeling.
Yeah, and he mentioned he speaks so highly of the club.
Yeah.
He was there as a player and as a manager for a brief stint as well. So he speaks so highly of the club, of Bradley, Crown, and McPhail. He said Rovers is always a part of it as well.
Yeah.
So it's just so nice to see that. So nice to hear it as well. He did also add that him and most of the members of the 87 winning squad, they will be there on Sunday.
That's good.
He said they'll be having a point or two after the game as well.
Of course.
And they said hopefully in celebration.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. Well, they would have done it, I suppose, maybe when they were winning in 87. Well, they definitely would have.
Yeah, they would have been. They're probably slugging them back before the game. It was the
80s. But yeah, no, it's speaking to him even got me more kind of motivated, and speaking about it now,
amped up for the final.
It's getting me more excited for this final, and it's kind of one of them moments where the hairs kind of stand the back of the neck, and so I suppose we'll
get into the proper pre-match
into Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m.
Hopefully a nice day. 3:00, the Aviva Stadium.
I heard the weather is supposed to be nice.
It's been nice all week. It's been quite hot.
Yeah, like it's not
17 degrees the other night. I had to open the window.
It's not cold right now.
No, it's 17 degrees. Right.
Who do we think we are on Cup Final?
Oh, it's meant to rain.
Singing in the rain. We don't need a rendition. We don't need a Milltown Way rendition.
Acapella group
of singing in the rain. Well, hopefully Rovers will be. Hopefully Rovers will be winning in the rain.
Shut your mouth.
Can we use that now?
No. Let's get an edit today.
But yeah, now we'll move on to Sunday then. Shamrock Rovers against Cork City. This is the one.
Yeah.
That's Stone Roses one said. We're getting musical here.
Yeah.
What can we expect on Sunday?
It's gonna be. It's the biggest game.
Biggest game of the season?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's a cup
final. Rovers have won the league. All that's left now is to go out there on Sunday and put it to bed and win the double, and it's just as easy as that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's not, is it?
The last time Rovers played Cork was in the cup. It was in the cup in 2020, August 2020. So there probably wouldn't have even been fans at that, would there have been?
No. Was it home or was it in Tala?
It was in Tala, yeah. Double from Danny Lafferty, 2-1 win. They've only ever met 3 times in the cup in the last few years. In the last 10 years. Sorry, 15. So 2-1 win for Rovers in 2020. In 2016, Cork bet Rovers in Tala 5-0. Not ideal. And then Rovers beat Cork 2-0 in 2012 in the cup. So somewhat evenly matched. Looking at the season, it is it's a tale of 2 different teams who had 2 very different seasons. One finished top, one finished bottom. But it's a cup final. It's one game. You never know what can happen.
Well, that's it. If you looked at it on paper, you'd say this is going to be one-way street, but it's definitely not going to be a one-way street because it's a cup final, and Cork have nothing to lose. Rovers do, because Cork are already relegated, so if they bring home a trophy and have European football next season, sure they'd be more than happy to do that, won't they?
Yeah, European football while in the
At Lone Town on a Saturday or on a Friday, and the following Thursday playing
Liverpool.
I did not hear the Conference League qualifiers.
We probably will be.
But yeah, it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a really, really tough day. But I'm more than excited for this. And if you're a Rover supporter and you're not excited for this, you want to check yourself.
Cup on. The cup final. How can you not be excited for a cup final?
Yeah, but it's
what football's for. Like the league and all, it's great, but there's something about a final.
It's just on the day, isn't it?
It's on the day. It's one day.
Who shows up, and there's no second chances. If you don't show up, you're not winning the cup, and that's it. Rovers have showed up. I'd say Rovers have had a slightly favourable run this year. Is the only one I'd say. But the toughest game I think was probably Drogheda away in the cup in the cup quarter final. That took penalties, and Rovers were one penalty away from being knocked out in that penalty shootout.
Ed McGinty.
Ed McGinty, he loves saving penalties, and
name a better combo. Ed McGinty and saving penalties in Drogheda.
In the what's it called now? The Sullivan and Lamb Park. I think that's what they've. Yeah. It's always just known as the hunky dory save.
Hunky.
So everything is hunky dory on the hoops go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really excited for this. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, it is. I'm just looking forward to it. I got the day booked off work.
Imagine working at the weekends, Adam.
Oh, I should try out,
pal. But yeah, no, it's gonna be. I just can't wrap my head around this because it's just gonna be. There's so much riding on this.
It's gonna be the greatest day or the worst day.
It could be if Guinness do Sundays, or it could be if Orchard Thieves do Sundays.
We don't even put that out into the air. That won't be happening.
I suppose what will we be expecting on Sunday then?
In terms of a team, what to expect? You can most likely, especially coming off today, is more evidence you're going to know. It's going to be full strength. Some players were rested today. It wasn't 100% full strength. You have to expect, especially with the bench being so thin today. There's only 6 players on the bench?
Yeah, and around that.
So you'd have to expect that someone intentionally just didn't bring some players over because he was like, "You're not going to play." So
yeah,
there's no, because he used 5 subs anyway.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like it's full. This would be full throttle now.
Rather than bringing them to Athens for no reason, just
and it's like the travel would be tiring as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
particularly when they're going to be on that charter flight tonight.
Yeah, it's
landing at 3 a.m. That messes with your body as well.
Yeah.
There was recently revealed on social media that there will be a special kind of cup final walk. It's going to be Rovers fans meeting in Ringsend during the day to celebrate the club's historic founding neighbourhood in the lead up to the day. It's going to be a fan march from Ringsend Church at 20 to 2, and they're going to be following the tradition of walking behind the white horse, and it's a tradition that does date back to the 40s. So the Shamrock Rovers SRFC Ultras are encouraging as many people to get behind that on.
That's quite good, to be fair.
On Sunday, yeah, it's nice to keep these traditions intact alive, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good to keep traditions like that alive and let them live, because they do die out. Traditions don't last unless you consistently do them, and obviously most people aren't walking behind a white horse to most games. But like, it's good for such a big game to bring these traditions back, and
it all adds to the occasion as well, doesn't it?
So people be doing that, people be on the points nice and early.
How early are you getting on the points, Adam?
Starting on Saturday.
Starting now. Look, it's hard. It's one of them. It's very hard to kind of maybe predict, or not that I will try to predict it, but it's very hard to even kind of know what to expect, because Cork are gonna. It's not a case of the way Rovers go to Athens and it's this top European outfit that you kind of put your backs to the wall. Cork aren't going to put their backs to the wall.
No,
they're going to come out and play football, and they have a lot of key threats there in their team that are going to be well capable of hurting the Rovers' defence. Sean Maguire is obviously the outstanding one.
Yeah.
And as well as that, taking their lead up to the final, the semi-final, they had a tough draw home to Pats and turned them over 3-0.
Yeah,
And seeing it got ugly at the end at
did.
full time there, which isn't nice to see for any supporter or
No.
fan base. But yeah, so like they've had their troubles as in tough oppositions, and they're coming into this game. They're going to be overly confident, if anything,
Yeah,
knowing that they're able to turn over the top sides in the league. And look, Pats probably they had a disappointing season. They didn't get Europe, but doesn't Pats beat Rovers a few weeks ago. So
yeah. I don't. It's anyone's game. It's a cup final. It is always anyone's game. There's always upsets, and on paper you would be saying Rovers, but
football's played on the pitch, not paper.
Yeah, I know, pal. But Cork are going to be up for it because just to kind of have something to take from this season. Not sort of obviously they make the cup final. They don't. If they lose the cup final and they get relegated, they're not going to write off the season entirely because they still made a good cup run. But if they can add a cup to a relegation season, it means the entire season's not going to be like looked back on in anger.
Yeah, trying to quote Oasis here.
No,
It's very
actually.
musical today, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're feeling biblical. Yeah, it's a cup final to one off. Cork City are going to be more than up for it, of course. More than up for it to upset the favourite as well.
Yeah.
It's always, yeah, you'd ideally want to be going in as the underdog into big games. That's why Rovers went into Athens today, but it's like, look, Rovers are always going to be the favourites really winning the league, and Cork going down, but they have key threats. Rovers recently played there in Turner's Cross and drew 1-1. Last minute goal, and that was a great goal as well from Cork. Caden Kamara is going to be a threat. Sean Maguire is going to be a threat. So yeah, they have a lot of key players there that can hurt Rovers, and did hurt Rovers when they went there
Yeah.
the last time. And everyone needs to be on top of their game here.
Yeah.
Even Mick Byrne, when we spoke about earlier in the week about the final, he said like if six players, 7 players, if it's only 6 or 7 players on their game, Rovers aren't going to win it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Cork are gonna be up for it realistically. So if the whole of Rovers don't show up and aren't ready to go out there and try win, you could see Cork very easily taking it.
Like Sean Maguire, Sean Maguire, I think he's one of them forwards that's not a prolific, similar to the way Athens don't have a prolific goal scorer. When we said it during the
Well, yeah.
Go on.
Well, I did mention about Nikola Jovic could be a bit dangerous if he ended up playing because he was returning from injury. And
everyone's going to be dangerous at him from the penalty spot, aren't they? I'd be dangerous from the penalty spot.
You would have skied it over the bar. The lasers would have been in your eye.
Yeah, maybe so.
You would have thought you were coming up against Buzz Lightyear or something.
Yeah, why are we talking about Buzz Lightyear here? It's the FAI Cup Finals on Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they don't. Cork don't really have that out and out. They do have a lot of talent, and like Cotlow Sullivan for one he's been injured for a large spell now, but he's probably going to be departing the club in January. He was heavily linked with Crystal Palace at one point. But Sean Maguire, he has 7 goals and 1 assist across the league and the cup.
Yeah.
He's definitely one to watch. Obviously, goes without saying, isn't it? He's going to be one to watch out for. But Cork are going to be setting up a little bit, probably similar shape to Rovers. Maybe 1 or 2 differences, but like they tend to kind of put sometimes 4. We've seen throughout the season they have put 5 at the back as well.
Yeah.
Kind of occupying, using the wing backs and stuff. So yeah, by no means is anyone expecting an easy day at the office.
No, definitely not. And yeah, it's hard to describe what it's going to be like, but it's at this point it's just excitement, and it's wanting to get out there and just.
I wish it could start now.
Yeah, it wouldn't be great if it was starting at 10:30 or whatever on a 9:30 on a Thursday.
That's where champions are made.
True. But no, yeah, if it's just like Cork through to the final was on paper harder than Rovers, like having to get a 2-1 win away, 2-1 win at home, to Waterford. by an 80th minute. Then they had a 3-0 away win to Finn Harps, which there was a Sean Maguire goal and a double from Evan McLaughlin, who was another player of note, I would argue.
Yeah, definitely. He's done some good numbers for Cork as well.
Like, if you look at it, only 3 goals, 2 assists in the league, but he's been playing a lot. He's traditionally probably more of a central midfielder, but this year they've been playing him at the.
He has 4 goals and 2 assists in the cup as well.
Yeah,
so 7
really stepped
7
up
and
in
4
the cup.
in all competitions.
Yeah, and in the league he's in the top 20% in the league for successful passes and chances created. So he is a worry, but hopefully Rovers can close him and the likes down. But then also on Cork's journey to the final, they had a 3-0 win over Pat, as you mentioned, which he also was the same goal scorers as Sean Maguire scored and a double from Evan McLaughlin. So it's interesting. Obviously, Rovers have they had the 2-1 win to Longford, which had 2 penalties in that game.
That was a bit more of one of them unconvincing, just get it done games.
The 5-4 penalty win against Drogheda in Drogheda.
That's where limbs were made.
And 6-1 against Kerry with a double from Burke, double from Noonan, Dylan Watts penalty and a Keane Barrett goal.
I think if you're really quiet for a second, you'll hear Kerry supporters still giving out that Burke should have been sent off in that game.
Well, Kerry, they had their incredible game against Sligo.
Yeah, that was
unbelievable.
Probably one of the best games of the competition, isn't it? Really,
3-0. Sligo went 3-0 up in the 61st minute.
But yeah, that was probably one of the better games of the competition, wasn't it? The Kerry coming back and beating Sligo.
Well, any game that has a 3-0 comeback is going to be up there with the best of the competition and the best.
Does well. I'll match your 3-0 comeback to winning a penalty shootout at the Funky Dory Stadium.
That was a better day out.
Yeah. Well, what were you having a day out when Kerry beat Sligo? Were you? It was the same day.
Yeah, true. It was in 2 places at once.
That was. It's games like that, I think, as well, isn't it? They're fine married. Rovers being 1 penalty away from being knocked out. Because Rovers held the lead in that penalty shootout until they missed one, and then Drogheda were stepped up to take a potential game-winning penalty, and they missed it.
Yeah. So football just is a game of fine margins, realistically, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and obviously Rovers wouldn't be on the brink of winning a historic double if that hadn't, if it hadn't gone Rovers' way, if they hadn't missed that penalty, of all these if, buts, and maybes. But
to absolutes.
Let's hope it's an absolute that Rovers win the double on Sunday.
Hopefully, we don't need to look back and listen to this and be like,
they're going to say, "Don't look back in anger."
I already done that reference.
You already done that? Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I don't do over references, bro. It's one and done.
Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, look, Sunday, we can probably safely say we're both really excited for Sunday.
Yeah, it is. It'll be it's the occasion of a final.
Yeah, I hate public transport more than anyone, and I'll be on the bus just buzzing on Sunday morning when opening the pubs with them at 7 a.m.
Be at one of the early houses.
Yeah,
Boar's Head will be getting
it. So it's like a cup final. Nothing in the Irish calendar. There's nothing more special than that, I don't think.
It'll be good to be back.
Good to be back in the Aviva.
Yeah.
Last time.
In the Aviva on Thursday then as well.
You will. I won't. But yeah, you'll be seeing Ireland. And speaking of Ireland, congratulations to Michael Noonan and Max Kovalevskis, who both netted a goal in the Under-17s World Cup opener against Panama, going 4-1. Victor Ozivuna and Alex Noonan also featured in that game. Noonan in goal nearly kept a clean sheet as well. And I suppose Panama were knocking on the door a little bit by the time that goal came around. But Ireland played really well in that game. Noonan was really threatening, so was Kovalevskis.
Yeah, it's good to see the young Irish lads, and especially the young Irish lads from Rovers, to be doing so well.
Yeah.
Gives a bit of faith for the future, really.
I suppose speaking of them 2 young lads, they will be missing on Sunday. Cork, a lot of threat.
Yeah.
Offer a lot of threat, don't they? Evan McLaughlin, Sean Maguire, 2 names.
They're the 2 big names, really.
Yeah, even when Rovers last played there, in the 1-1 draw, their central midfielder, Caden Kamara, he was really influential. So there's definitely enough threat there for Cork that they're going to put a lot of pressure on Rovers if they're on their game.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
and I suppose to go alongside that, if Rovers aren't on their game, there's, you know, it goes both ways. I think Cork can have a lot of ammunition to put pressure on the defence. Pats, I don't think would have expected to go in 3-0. I don't think I don't they wouldn't have expected to lose 3-0. I mean,
No, definitely not. No.
but I don't think any Pats would have been complacent there and thinking that that was a guarantee. Pats have had a bit more of a turbulent season, and it was mixed.
Yeah, it was definitely up and down for Pats this year. It wasn't smooth sailing at all, really.
I'm sure a lot of Bows fans are going to be buying Rovers jerseys ahead of Sunday as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Hoping that Rovers do them a favour and getting them a European place.
Yeah, they're reliant on Rovers to get any European football next year, so well, obviously we want Rovers to win more than anything, but
yeah, I thought when you know if it's a case that it doesn't,
no, don't even put that out there.
at least that's the only
Don't even.
that's the only silver lining in it all. That Bows won't be in Europe if the unpredictable happens. But it's football. Yeah, look, Sunday's going to be such a special occasion, and it's one of them. As we just keep saying, it's a cup final. Anything can happen on the day. It's in the Aviva Stadium. It's going to be a big crowd and in excess of 30,000. Maybe it might reach up to 40,000. You know, the last ticket update was 30,000 mark, but that was, I think, a couple of days ago that I last saw that.
Yeah.
So there is that potential that it could reach that height, and look, you want the fuller the better, isn't it? Make it makes it for nice viewing on the TV for people who are going to watch from home and stuff, and
yeah,
it all adds to the atmosphere and the occasion.
It adds to it when there's more people in the stadium as well. When you're obviously, you know, it's not going to be full, but when it is full and when the attendance is higher, even for other games, not just cup finals, like an Ireland game or something, when the attendance is that bit higher, it just adds to the occasion. It makes it that bit better.
Yeah, it does. Look, these players, they're well versed in winning.
Yeah,
winning trophies, stepping up on big occasions. They've just got a point in Athens. That's huge. So I touched on it in the match preview for Athens and for the Milltown way, and said that, you know, there's signs there. This could be the Rapid Vienna game. You know,
yeah,
the 1-1 draw.
Did say that.
It's after happening.
Yeah,
you know, so it's one of them. These can be game changing, and look, obviously that's a tough fixtures ahead for Rovers in Europe, but they have a tough fixture on Sunday, and it's the biggest game of the season.
Yeah,
they win that double and match that record that hasn't been done since '87 of Mick Byrne.
Be momentous. It'll be
Jim McLaughlin's aces.
It'll be a great Sunday.
Yeah, well, that's it, and I can speak for every fan, I suppose, and you know, the excitement's just building up more and more as we get closer to this occasion. And as we said, it feels like yesterday in some ways that Rovers qualified for the final. You think it happened?
Yeah, for me, it feels like it's a long time ago. But
as I said, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, true.
Hopefully, we'll be having fun on Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully Sunday goes by in about 2 seconds.
It's one of them as well, isn't it? Though, like, it's good to soak it in and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a cup final. You don't get them often.
No, and like, it's Rovers' first cup final in 6 years.
Yeah,
you know,
it's true.
It's one of them that's just. A game can go by so quickly. You want to enjoy it and
drink it in.
Quite literally. Yeah. Maybe Guinness.
Maybe.
And maybe a baby Guinness afterward if all goes well.
It's a Sunday though. Be careful.
Nothing's off limits if Rovers do a double.
Could be working from home the next day.
Well, it'll be what? The first double in 38 years.
No, yeah, you can't
let this. The lads are going to be there in attendance. You know, as we were saying, you know, that 87 winning squad, they've already been in Tala this week. Everything is in place. Rovers need to go and do this. Make history.
Yeah.
Be that team that does it.
Yeah, but it's not scripted, pal. It's not the WWE.
Football, I could write the perfect script.
Finish the story.
But yeah, I'm excited, and as I said, this is going out Friday morning, so there will be a big feature on the Milltown Way for the final, and there will be the preview on the Saturday. Feature is out on the Friday, so make sure you do read that as well. We'll have everything up for the final, and it's the only place to get your Rovers news.
Yeah, where else would you be getting it?
And we'll be featuring the exclusive with Mick Byrne, and we'll have I've spoken to the photographer at Milltown, George Kelly, as well. He'll be featured in the article too, so make sure don't miss it. But no, other than that, the advice for everyone on Sunday is enjoy it.
Drink it in. Have a good day.
It's huge. This is huge. This is the
It
biggest day of the season, and even with the 3 remaining European games, bigger than them. It's bigger than them.
Yeah.
And yeah, just enjoy it, and let's hope that from 5 o'clock on Sunday, Rovers are champions and not just of the league.
Hopefully, this season will go down as not just league champions, but the double winners.
Yeah, it'd be nice to say that come Monday morning. We'll be recording the next episode of the Milltown Way on Monday. It'll be out on Tuesday morning. Hopefully we won't be miserable when recording that. But yeah, that'll be out Tuesday morning. As I said, make sure you get all the latest Rovers content for the final, ahead of the final, themilltownway.wordpress.com, and then make sure to follow us on our socials at the Milltown Way. That's across all platforms: X, Facebook, and Instagram. Podcasts available: Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you listen. Make sure you share with everybody.
Yeah,
even if they're not a Rovers fan.
Yeah,
just share.
Shares help. Likes help. Everything.
Reviews, comments, and just we want to hear from you as well. So
if there's something you don't like, if there's too much music references,
exactly,
let us know.
If we're rambling on too much, for maybe an hour, just let us know. We'll cut it down.
We'll cut it down. 20 minutes under.
But no, we want to hear from you. Let us know. Let us know what your plans are for the final. Let us know what you're doing. Anything special? Any superstitions you might be following ahead of a final? Football's a very superstitious sport.
It is.
So get in touch. Let us know. We want to hear from you. And other than that, enjoy Sunday. Keep following and keep engaging with us. We want to hear from you. We appreciate everything that fans do for the page.
Thank you. Enjoy the final.